Getting ready to do all of the things necessary to go live. Welcome to Relaxation Tuesdays. So it is time for Hatha Yoga and the Yoga Nidra. So if you are at home and you do require props, or you're out or wherever you may be, please take the moment to gather up a pillow or blanket for the Nidra section of our yoga tonight. If you need a strap or if you're looking for some type of substitute, you can always use a belt or a towel for anything that we do when our arms are behind our backs tonight. And I definitely wanted to start class a little bit early today so that, one, we could go through some troubleshooting, which happens when we're broadcasting and learning to go digital, which has been a great adventure. And two, to kind of have a little bit of opening talk before I set the intention for our practice tonight. So with that said, it is Tuesday night. We are in God knows what part of the month, going into April, I think, and still pretty much either on lockdown or social distancing, which is a challenge for everybody because culturally, as a people, we're very social beings. We like interacting and being out in public and all of the things that go along with that. And so it is very hard for us to either be staying inside or have limited contact. So in these ways, joining class is a way to help work on that. Whether you're live with me on Zoom chats, or if you are live on Facebook. I will have to say that if you are live on Facebook and posting questions on the video here as we go, I'm not able to be in too many places at once, so I might not completely see all of that. So I will get back to you with any types of comments, questions, anything of that nature. You're always welcome to private message me as well in Facebook at Luminous Life Adventures with Erin Delia. And so I've been talking with a lot of people and taking my business in a lot of ways. And I have been learning to make lemonade from my lemons. Obviously, our businesses have all been impacted to different degrees and at different levels, and just trying to move forward with it and grow and do something I've always wanted to do, which in times like this, it's one of the best times to realize that although you might be out of work for some people, or you might be working from home, you might be realizing how much of your life might need to change, even in the consideration of going back to a more public lifestyle again. The question is, what would you actually change? And if you could go after something that was completely and uniquely centered in your heart, something you've always wanted to be, what would that be? And so today we're going to learn and talk about unplugging a little bit, and unplugging from the mentalities that stick us in a certain mindset, a certain belief structure, a certain way of being and practicing and doing. And in that way, it holds us back from going after what makes us really happy. And sometimes it makes it really hard to be happy because we're not doing what makes us happy. So one of these times right now, with everything that's going on, is an awesome time for you to stop and think about what makes you happy and take some of this time to ourselves to be sequestered in our homes or in our businesses without as many staff around, to really look at what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy, and what part of your day do you spend about talking to yourself inside your head about what is unhappy and how you could change it and how I was right, and the little monkey mind that keeps going around. And unplug and see if you can either write it down or make a list somewhere. And when you catch yourself indulging in these conversations, can you stop? Can you unplug from it? Can you notice why you're having that conversation and speak such truth that you can change? And that's really where the pivotal part of what I teach in the Resilient Mind Method is so impactful, because at the core of what the practice is, through my 3 steps, through this methodology that I've taken the last 12 years to kind of create and form and practice with, is that when you really understand why you are perpetuating cycles of stress or anxiety, why you continue to do things because you feel you have to have a certain lifestyle or whatever. And I know that sounds pretty, and I know you know, a lot of us look at people like myself who are wellness providers or yogis and say, oh, that's such a great life, but that could never be for me. And my question to you is why? If you want to write, if you want to paint, if you want to be successful at something, why can't you be successful at that? And what's really stopping you? Is it just a fear of being successful, accepted? Is it how much of you would have to change, how much you've bended and flexed and maybe broken in some areas that you have gone further away from that practice? And so take some of this time with social distancing, take some of this time to be at home and be creative and do the things that are truly and uniquely you. And if you're feeling sad and you're feeling depressed, always reach out, whether it's to me or some friends, and have a virtual happy hour. Zoom is completely free for those who can only do 40-minute intervals. It just requires an email. I know Facebook does live chats and things of that nature as well. So there are ways to be social, and there are ways to take this time to work on yourself. I will be changing some of my social presence in my website over to the Resilient Mind Method. I've been very busy building that while doing some of my coaching programs to create this process and give it some substance, which a lot of the people that have been in my life over the last few years have received the benefit from, and I'm completely ready to bring this forward as a process to share with as many people as I can possibly share it with that would be interested on how to remove stress and anxiety from your life and how to create a life that you really love living, because it is completely and truly who you are in the center of your heart and in your being. And in that way, taking those steps and fast tracking it. I mean, because we could all spend easily the next 12 years like I have, putting in tons of money and time and energy, changing and shifting and growing. Or you can fast track it with someone like myself who has walked the path and created a path for others like you to practice. So be looking forward for my new website, which I hope to have launched before the end of this week. And continuing to evolve into some technologies. Tonight I am practicing not using my earpods and playing some music in the background as we go through class. So trying to check that out, making sure that I'm hopefully loud enough and heard, and making sure that I got ta-da, a background and not just a blank wall today. So as we continue to traverse down this path of growth and sharing with everybody all of the comments and feedback that I have gotten from people who have attended my class or watched my live broadcasts or have joined me on YouTube. These videos will be put onto YouTube so that you can practice them again, either at your own pace or in your own time if this isn't a great time slot for you. But I do encourage you to take a time to learn to grow and change and to move beyond whatever fears or doubts or challenges might be being thrown at you right now, because there's a lot of it swirling around. So great time to be practicing. I'm going to pop over to my Facebook really quickly and see if anybody has made any comments, which I don't think they have. But you know, you never know. And with that, okay. So no more comments, which is always a plus. I mean, don't get me wrong. But so with that said, we are about 5 minutes before class, and since I don't have any questions or comments currently, or anybody joining me right this second, I will also let you know that if you wanted to make a love donation for class, whether it be now live or at any given point in time, it is always graciously accepted but never expected. You can do so through Apple Pay, you can do so through Facebook Messenger, Venmo, or PayPal. My email address is edaliapro@gmail.com, so it's the first initial of my first name, my last name, pro@gmail.com. And thank you so much for all of you who have donated. It makes a huge difference in my life, and it definitely helps make me feel supported as I go through this change and I bring all of this to you. So with that said, if you would like to come to the mat at this point, And just start to get comfortable, do any initial stretches that you might have. The Hatha Yoga sequence we're going to do today is predominantly based in my Amrit style of learning from Amrit Yogi Desai, who is up in Ocala, but originally from India. And it is the blend of a meditative style of Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga with the breath. And we will be really dialing into the breath work, cultivating that Ujjayi breath, which is when you inhale and exhale through the nose and you slightly constrict the throat to create this almost sweeping ocean sound as you breathe in and out. And when we do things like that, whether we are oming or using our Ujjayi breath, we are creating a vibration in the body which allows you to stay more centered in your physical form and to not float off into just emotions or thoughts in the mind, which can be a bit challenging for some people who are used to go, 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 go. And, you know, I'm always on my phone, I'm always, you know, Snapchatting or anything of that nature. And so in that way, we can really focus in on the breath with the coordination of movement as we go through each asana. We will be doing between 30 and 40 minutes of yoga tonight, and then we will be doing a yoga nidra instead of our corpse pose, savasana. And so the other thing I'd like to mention before I forget is that I offer private yoga and meditation classes through Zoom, or whatever way is compatible with your technology level. I can do this privately one-on-one or in a group setting, as well as the Resilient Mind program. If you have a group of people who are interested in learning these things while we have some downtime in our lives, please, again, personal message me and just let me know. It's my pleasure to be of service to my community here in Florida and around the world. And again, if there's anything that I am missing as I post all of these things, I do live on the Eastern Standard Time of the United States. For all of those that might want to join in from other realms of the world. So, I think with that said, let's get ready for class. So if you've got your mat, you've got all your props, bolsters, pillows, blankets, straps, whatever might be working best for you tonight. And if you could come down into finding a comfortable position on the mat. There we go. Just finish the screen. And whether you can sit Indian style or you need to put a bolster, I have my meditation cushion that I use regularly, depending on if you have tighter hips or not. Whatever might be the most comfortable for you, go ahead and start to slowly close your eyes. Put your hands in a comfortable position in your lap or on your legs, either interlaced or in Nidra or just flat, whatever is best for you. To breathe slowly in and out through the nose. Letting all of the day just smooth away. As you continue to breathe, I want you to start on the next inhale, slowly breathing in through the nose, taking your time to fill the lungs, and start to connect with the sensations of breath. How, as you breathe in, the opening of your nostrils becomes dry and cool. How, as the air brushes through the back of your throat, there's a slight dryness. And as it reaches your lungs, how your chest expands to accept all of that life-giving air. And as you begin to exhale, notice how the chest begins to collapse, the shoulders might fall a bit, how the back of the throat becomes nice and moist again. And the opening of your nostrils becomes warm. and slightly damp. Take the time to take a few more breaths and slowly connect with the sensations of your breathing. One of the more beautiful things about the practice of breath and the connection that you can make with these sensations is that it always brings you into the present moment of whatever you're experiencing. You cannot breathe in the past, you cannot breathe in the future, you breathe in the present moment. It is something that you have to do every few minutes of the day. You can go days without food and water, but you cannot go more than minutes without breath. And so as you are sitting here, experiencing the physical sensations of breathing, let there be gratitude in your emotional state and mind, because every time that you breathe in, you are giving yourself life. You are perpetuating your ability to grow and change and be present. And so take some time to let your breath come back to its natural cadence, whatever that is, without trying to shift it or change it. And take a few breaths in gratitude for this life that we have lived, for this gift of being present for it, and for the choices that have yet to be fallen upon us. And as you continue to breathe, let our practice of Hatha Yoga tonight lead us from what is darkness to what is light, from what is the unreal world around us to the reality of who we are inside, and from the time-bound state of consciousness to a timeless state of being. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, start to move, and come to a standing position on your mat. And we're going to start our practice tonight with, give me just a moment. We're going to start our practice tonight with some warm-up breaths. It's a 3-part inhalation with a 1-part forceful exhalation and movement with our arms. I'm going to just kind of bring you through the first few sections, and we're going to repeat this about 7 different times. So with that said, first few things to clarify is we have 2 foot postures during tonight's practice. The first posture would be feet together. If your ankles don't touch, if they're slightly splayed, or if you can't bring your feet together, whatever is best for you, your feet are pointing forward and parallel to one another. Our second foot position for tonight is going to be feet hip width apart. Now, a lot of us think that hip width apart is this outside part of our hips, where we stand like this. It's not, for the intention of this practice today. If you take both of your hands and you put them in a fist, hand to hand, and if you need to bend over to do this, put your hands on the ground. Go ahead and wiggle your feet and toes right up next to your hands and stand up. Slightly drop the tailbone. Rise up through the sternum, rise up through the crown of your head, and that is feet hip width apart. That is when our femurs are sitting directly inside of the sockets of our hips. So if you want to take just a moment to take a few breaths and connect in with that feeling and sensation, it might be awkward, especially if you stand like this or if you stand like this. Just taking a moment to kind of notice that this is a really beautiful posture for you to have at any given point during the day. And with that said, we're going to start our warm-up breath. It's a 3-part inhalation through the nose, starting with the hands up to shoulder height, palms facing one another, first inhalation. The second and third is arms out to the side, palms facing forward. The last third is arms up overhead. And the fourth part is a forceful exhale through the mouth as we bend our knees, come down, swing our arms back, and come back up again. We're going to do this about 7 different times. And on the last inhalation, we're going to take our time to slowly rise up after we exhale. And I will let you know that at the beginning of that inhalation breath. With that stated, press down into the feet, rise up through the crown as we begin. Breathing up, out, up, and down. Breathing up, out, up, and down. Breathing up, out, and down. Breathing up, breathing out, breathing up, and down. Breathing up, breathing out, breathing up, and down. Breathing last one, out, up, and forcefully exhaling. Taking your time to slowly rise up. Closing your eyes as soon as it becomes available to you, allowing the arms to just relax beside you. And allow yourself to experience all the subtle sensations of bringing that much oxygen into your system. The way your hands might tingle or your feet might tingle. Whatever it is, just allow yourself to be really present here. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes as we prepare for one more round of breathing. Making sure again that our feet are still hip width apart, parallel and facing forward as we begin. Breathing up, breathing out, breathing up and down. 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 Last one, out, up and down, and slowly start to rise up. Closing your eyes as soon as it becomes available to you, and allowing all of the sudden sensations and emotions and feelings to take you deeper into using your breath. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Let the breath allow you to be present in the sensations that you are feeling. If your mind is reeling or it's going off with 100 list of things that you need to do, just let it know that you'll be back in a few minutes. You can take some time for yourself and come back to the breath. Come back to the gratitude that it gives us for the life that it brings. And for the single point of focus that you can really bring your mind back to. And when you're ready, you slowly open your eyes. We're going to come to the top of our mats as we prepare today to do some sun salutations, which are always fun. Come back just a little And bringing your feet together, pressing them deeply into the ground, rising up through the sternum, up through the crown of your head. Step back. We're going to slowly inhale the palms together into a prayer position before the heart, gazing down at our palms. As we inhale again, slowly bringing the hands up overhead, continuing to gaze at the palms. We're going to drop the tailbone firm through the buttocks and inner thighs. And as you exhale, slowly press the hips forward and coming into a slight back bend. Pressing into the feet, rise up through the sternum like you've got a little string pulling you straight up through the sternum. And then out through the hands. As you exhale, bringing the hands forward and down, bringing the torso forward and down, coming into a forward fold. Taking the time to come into whatever forward fold your body is allowing at the moment. So if your hands need to relax on your shins or your knees, whatever it may be, your hands reach the floor, thumbs next to little toes. Know that no one became a better person because they could touch their toes. And at any given point in this practice, you might be able to go further than you did when we started. So just taking that time to be honest with yourself about the limits of your body. Allow the crown of the head to relax. On the next inhale, go ahead and take a big step back with the right foot into lunge. And we want to make sure that our knee and ankle are in alignment with one another. So go ahead and wiggle your foot up if you need to. Nice deep lunge. The rear foot is off, the rear heel is off the ground. So we're pushing through that right heel as it's going towards the wall behind us. We're extending forward through our sternum as you go ahead and look ahead, keeping your eyes open, being present, using your blocks here or putting your hands up into pup if you need to. Whatever it is that you need to do to breathe here and not be struggling through this process. On the next inhale, go ahead and bring the left foot back, coming into a plank position. You want the body to be, and I'm actually going to turn my mat a little bit more sideways so y'all can see me a bit better. Coming into a plank position, body is nice and tight, making sure that our shoulder and our wrists are in alignment. You don't want to be too far forward or too far backwards. Taking all the pressure off, really engaging those fingers into the mat, tightening across the abdomen, tightening across the glutes, pulling the kneecaps up by tightening your quads, pushing out through those real heels and pushing out the forward of your crown. Now, if you're trembling here, keeping up with me, and you're yelling at me in your head because you want me to move forward, go ahead and drop your knees. Do plank with knees dropped. Whatever it is that allows you to be here and to be present without struggling. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the knees down. We're going to extend the tailbone up towards the ceiling. As we bring the chest forward and down, bringing the sternum between the thumbs, keeping the elbows in, pressing in, inhaling, pressing up, keeping the hips on the ground into upward dog. Now, our shoulders are away from our ears, slightly back, elbows are bent, and breathe. Now, I know a lot of you want to do the full upward dog, where we're pushing all the way up and we're off the ground. Here, really just engage in your ujjayi breath, pressing your hips into the ground. And be present. Extending your intention and energy out through the legs, down through the hips, and forward through the chest. If you are trembling here, come down a little bit. Come out 10%. Find that place where you can be here, eyes open, present, Feeling the sensations of your breath and unplugging from everything else. All of the expectations, all that, well, I can go deeper. Just be here with me today. On the next exhale, bring the body down. We're going to press into the palms, roll up over the toes, and come into downward dog. If this is your first downward dog of the day, go ahead and jog your legs out one at a time, allowing yourself to just really work all of those tensions, any tightness in the calves or the hamstrings. We're actively pressing into the balls of the hand and or fingers as we rise up through the back, out through the hip creases, making sure that our neck and head is nice and relaxed. On the next inhale, take a big step forward, back into lunge with the right foot. Go ahead and wiggle it up if you need to. Again, making sure that our knees and our ankles are in alignment, that we're pressing out through that rear heel, that left heel is off the ground, extending forward through the sternum and looking up with your head. On the next inhale, you'll launch off that back foot, bringing it forward, back into forward fold, feet together. Hands are wherever they need to be comfortable and present. The neck and the head are relaxed. Actively pressing into the feet and rising up through the tailbone. On the next inhale, slowly just bring your palms together. And just feel how your hands feel together. Like the sensations of your breath, allow these sensations of your palms touching to bring you ever more present into your practice today on the mat. On the next inhale, slowly start to raise the arms and torso up, bringing the palms through the center of the body, lifting them up overhead, continuing to gaze at your palms, dropping the tailbone, firming through the buttocks and inner thighs, and as you exhale, pressing the hips forward, coming into a slight back bend. On the next exhale, bringing the palms down through the center, bringing the torso forward and down, coming into another forward fold, allowing your hands to be present wherever it's best for you. Actively pressing into the feet, consciously rise up through the tailbone and allow the head and the crown to relax. On the next inhale, take a big step back with the left foot, coming back into a lunge. The left heel is off the ground. The right knee and ankle are in alignment with one another. Hands are either on the block or wherever it may be. You can always drop your knee if you need to be here into a dropped knee lunge. Again, making sure that your knee and ankle are in alignment. You don't want to be too far forward or backward. That's when we hurt ourselves. Continue to breathe as we actively press through that rear heel and forward through the sternum, gazing up. On the next inhale, bringing the right foot back into a plank position. Again, making sure that our shoulders and wrists are engaged and in line. Pressing actively through our rear heels, intentionally pulling forward to the crown of the head, tightening across the abdomen and glutes, and breathing. Using that ujjayi breath, can you feel the waves, the vibrations passing through your throat, bringing you more present, taking you away from all those thoughts and feelings from the day. On the next inhale, dropping the knees, extending the tailbone up towards the ceiling as we bring the torso forward and down, bringing the sternum between the thumbs, keeping our elbows in, and pushing up into upward dog. Again, dropping our shoulders away from our ears, our elbows are tucked in, they're not all the way out here. Tightening across those glutes, protecting the lower back. Continuing to breathe, be here, be present. On the next exhale, bringing the body down, pressing into the hands and feet, rolling over those toes back into downward dog. On your next inhale, take a big step forward with the left foot, coming back into lunge. The right heel is off the ground. We're actively pressing back through that right heel, forward through our sternum, looking up. On the next inhale, bringing the right foot forward, coming back into forward fold. Toes and feet are together, hands are down by the little toes or on thighs or knees, shins, whatever is best for you. The crown of the head and the neck are very relaxed as we're actively press into our feet, rise up through our tailbone. Keep your eyes open here as you engage your ujjayi breath. On the next inhale, slowly just bring your palms together again. Another act of physical sensation that brings us present. And on the next inhale, slowly start to rise the hands up, slowly start to rise the torso up, bringing the palms up overhead again as we continue to gaze at your palms. Pressing down into the feet, rise up out of the shoulders, up through the palms. And as you exhale, bringing the palms down into your heart center, closing your eyes as soon as it becomes available to you. Releasing your palms to your sides, relaxing your hands, and breathing. Letting each one of your sensations of breath take you deeper into being present here on the mat with me. Deeper into your practice tonight. And further from all the thoughts and feelings of the day or week. And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes as we prepare for our next posture. If you have water and you need some of it, please take the time to do so. Just move my mat back so you can continue to hopefully see me as we practice today. And we're going to get ready for the Warrior One series of this particular type of practice. So coming up to the front of our mat, we're going to come with our feet hip width apart. Again, if you need to, make sure that your feet are, again, hip width apart, parallel to one another, facing the front of the mat. We're going to push into our feet, rise up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head, clarifying our position. Then we're going to inhale, bringing our hands up onto our hips. And as we exhale, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot back into lunge. For this particular lunge, we're going to keep the heel off the ground. We're going to look down, make sure that our left knee and ankle are in alignment, that we're not this way or this way. So if you need to come up a little bit to maintain a good, better posture for your knee, please feel free to do so. If you are lucky enough that you have very flexible calves and your foot goes all the way down to the ground, then great. We want to make sure that we're not twisted sideways for this posture. In Warrior One, our hips are square to each other. So go ahead and take a look down at those hips. Make sure that our knee is good. We've got a nice lunge that we can hold here. And we're going to actively at this point reach our heels down towards the ground as we extend up towards the ceiling, dropping the tailbone, tucking it just a little bit. You'll notice how that changes your hips. Opens up this nice area right here all the way through the thigh. And consciously press your heel towards the floor as you reach up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head. Just moving that energy, breathing into this. Using that ujjayi breath, in and out through the nose, slowly closing the throat so you get that wave-like noise. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale the arms out to the side, palms facing down. As we exhale, turning the palms facing up. As we inhale again, putting the palms up overhead and interlacing the fingers into a temple mudra, which if you don't know is when we interlace our fingers together, but we leave our pointer fingers up. So arms are alongside the ear or slightly back, or if they don't go that far, they can be a head like this, whatever is your limits. Listen to your body. Actively press into that front left foot that's on the ground as you press back through that right heel, really grounding yourself into this. And as you breathe, reach up and extend up through the sternum, up through the shoulders, and up through the fingers. Continuing to gaze straight ahead. Engaging in that breath, engaging in those feet, tightening those legs. To release the pose, bring the hands down into prayer position before the heart. Push off the rear foot, coming forward. Release the palms, shake out if you need to, as we prepare for the other side. Bringing our feet back to hip width apart, pressing into our feet, rising up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head. Inhaling the hands up onto your hips. And on the next inhale, take a big step back with the left foot this time, making sure the left heel is off the ground. We're making sure that our hips are square to one another. Our knee and ankle in the forefront here on the right side are in alignment with each other. Go ahead and take a moment, center yourself. Slowly drop the tailbone ever so slightly. And really push through that rear heel towards the ground as you extend up through the torso and the crown of the head. Enjoying the first part of this posture. Now on the next inhale, we're going to bring the arms out to the sides, palms facing down. As we exhale, bringing the palms facing up. As we inhale again, palms up overhead, fingers into Temple Mudra. Actively pressing down through that left heel, pressing down into that right foot, engaging those legs, slightly tucking the tailbone, reaching up through the sternum, up through the shoulders, and then out through the palms of the hands. Breathing, using your ujjayi breath, even though we're activating the body, letting our breath keep our mind and our emotions and our physical selves present in this moment, unplugging from everything else that has happened to you lately. To release this pose, bringing the palms down before the heart into prayer, launching off the back foot, closing your eyes, releasing your hands down by your side. I challenge you to not change your clothing right now. To immediately tune into all of the sensations that went along with that asana set. How one side of the body might feel over the other. Allow these sensations to take you deeper into this present moment. And let it show you what it is that you feel necessary to feel normal. The difference between feeling normal and fitting in, even when no one is around you, and just being yourself, whatever it is in the moment, is where we create stress, where we create compromise to our own happiness. So in these little parts of our practice tonight, we can really tune into where we need to let go. Using that ujjayi breath, even in standing meditation, allows us to be present. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. We prepare for our next series of postures. I'm going to hydrate because all this talking is giving me a sore throat. Or a dry throat, I should say. And our next posture is going to be the warrior angle posture. So we're going to come to a wide stance facing whatever wall it is that you want, or computer or screen, whatever it may be. Our ankles are going to be slightly pitched out and our feet are slightly pitched in. So not completely straight like this, not completely out like that, but just slightly pitched. Making sure that our hips are nice and flat and straight to each other. We're going to slowly rise our hands out to the sides into star position. Go ahead, looking, gazing forward. Now, with this position, you really want to bring their shoulder blades together. So if I put a pencil between them, you'd almost want to be trying to hold them. Pressing into the feet, rising up through the crown of the head. Really pressing out into each limb in this moment and just enjoying the stance. On the next breath, we're going to turn the left foot forward, the right foot partly in, so that the heels are lined up. If you need to come out a little bit more to make sure that you can hold this posture, our legs are straight. We're going to gaze out over the left hand. And as we inhale and exhale, we're going to bend the knee, coming into warrior two. Go ahead and take a look at that knee. Make sure that you're not all the way here, and then you're not all the way here. You're just right in the middle, whatever is best for you. Continuing to push out through the fingers, bring the shoulder blades back. On the next inhale, we're going to bend the left arm and bring the forearm right on top of the knee. And we're going to bring the right arm up towards the ceiling, making sure that we're pressing it back ever so slightly, making sure that you're taking that right hip and pressing it back ever so slightly. Actively pressing into the feet, rising up out of the left shoulder, not letting all of our weight be riding here. So our arm here is really just to help stabilize. Breathing, using that ujjayi breath. And on the next inhale, go ahead and bring the right arm alongside the ear. If it's available to you, palm facing down. Continuing to look straight ahead. To release this pose, windmill the arms back up into warrior two, gazing out over the left palm. Inhale the left leg straight, and we're going to pivot the left leg forward, and we're going to pivot over to the right side this time. Gazing out over our right side, extending out through our fingers as we inhale, exhale, bending the right knee this time. And so for you to look at this side, I'm going to make sure that my left leg, my rear leg, is pitched back the heel, that my heels are in alignment with each other. My arms are up, my shoulders are back, and gazing out over my right hand, and that my knee and my ankle on the right side are in line with each other. Warrior two on the right side. Using that ujjayi breath to keep you centered and balanced. On the next inhale, we're going to bend the right arm, bringing it on top of the knee. We're going to lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, gazing straight ahead. Lifting out of the right shoulder and then up through the left palm, pressing into the feet. Using that support to keep the body here so that you're not just resting on this arm. Pressing the left shoulder back, the left hip back, really opening that body. And on the next inhale, bringing the left arm alongside the ear if it's available to you, and pushing into that left foot, reaching up through the left side of the body, out through the left fingers. Using that ujjayi breath, stay present, keep your eyes open. To release, windmill the arms back up into warrior two. We're going to straighten the right leg, bring the feet forward, pivoting back out into star. We're going to bring the hips on, hands onto the hips. And we're going to do another forward fold. So making sure that our ankles are pitched out just a little bit. And then inhale and exhale. And as you begin to exhale, we're going to bring the torso forward and down, keeping the back straight, keeping the head in line with the spine. And bending until you can no longer bend forward, wherever that may be for you. We're going to slowly let the arms slide down the legs, coming towards the ankles or wherever is best, allowing the crown of the head and neck to relax. We're actively pressing into our feet and lifting up with the tailbone as the torso comes further down. We're not using our arms to pull us. We're not here trying to push ourselves. We're just here wherever our body's limit is and honoring that limit today. Part of understanding and honoring our limits means that we understand where the challenges are in our lives where we have to grow. When we push past them or go further than we're expected to in our own selves, we start living in the unreality and not the reality of who we are. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly bring the hands back up to the waist. Start to inhale the torso up, flat back, coming all the way up. Pushing off the rear foot, coming into our mat, coming into a standing meditation response, leaving our hands by our sides, not shifting our clothing, but coming into contact, conscious contact with each sensation, each breath, following it, letting it guide us through our bodies, through our emotions, and through our minds. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes as we prepare for our next posture. Today we're going to do one of our standing balancing postures. So I ask you to come to the middle of your mat and to bring your feet as together as possible. Now today, part of being honest with ourselves about postures is that whether or not we can understand that maybe today in this practice, this is our posture, and maybe our hands are here or they're up here, but wherever they may be, can you be real with yourself and accept that this might be your limit today? Because that is really powerful. And so as you continue to get ready, excuse me, technical difficulties. Well done. Apparently, my light just broke. Give me just a second, folks. Let me see if I can get this part to work for me. Okay, well, let's see if we can get through this, shall we, folks? With that said, bringing our feet together, pressing into our feet, rising up through our sternum, up through the crown of our head. We're going to do standing hand to foot today. So picking a drishti point, which is a point in front of you that does not move. It's very important to focus in on that part because it does allow you to take all of your intention and energy and focus it onto one space, and it does help create balance in these postures. So focusing in on that drishti point, we're going to press into the left foot, shift the weight into the left side of the body as we slightly bend the right knee coming up onto the ball of our right foot. Slightly tucking the tailbone, firming through the abdomen. We're going to inhale the right leg forward, and we're going to take our hands and interlace them right under the right knee. So that's thumbs and fingers. This is the first half of our posture. If you would like to go further in your posture, you can go ahead and lean forward and interlace your fingers and thumbs underneath the ball of your foot. As you inhale, you can lift the sternum away from the navel, making sure that the knee and ankle stay in alignment with each other, or whatever is best for you. And breathe, using that ujjayi breath while you're here, focusing in on that drishti point, creating balance and strength as we use our standing foot rising up through the crown of the head. To release this, release the hands, release the foot. Wiggle and giggle out whatever you might need to. And as we prepare for our next side, bringing our feet back together, coming into contact with our drishti point once again, pressing into the right foot, shifting into the right side of the body. We're going to bend the left knee, coming up onto the balls of the left foot. As we inhale, we're going to tighten the abdomen, drop the tailbone ever so slightly, and inhale the left foot up, interlacing the hands under the left knee. Thumbs as well, so no thumbs up on top, thumbs underneath. Now, if you'd like to go deeper into your practice, you can lean forward and interlace your thumbs and fingers underneath the ball of the foot. And on the next inhale, moving the sternum up away from the navel slowly, making sure the knee and ankle are in alignment with each other. Continuing to stare at that drishti point, strong through our standing leg, rising up through the crown of the head. To release this pose, release the hands, release the feet, and back into that standing meditative posture. And be aware of how each side of the body feels, how each foot feels. When you might have had to wiggle to let go of, were you honest with yourself about how far you could really go in that posture without struggling? Or were you trying to keep up with me or whoever might be in the room with you? And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes as we prepare for our next posture. We're going to do a standing yoga mudra, which is going to be our transition onto a set of floor postures today. So coming to the center of your mat, we're going to come to feet hip width apart, facing forward, feet are parallel, pressing into the feet, rising up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head. We're going to slowly bring our hands back behind our back. So if you need a strap for this point, this would be where you want to stop real quick and grab it. Our palms are going to be facing into each other as our hands are interlaced behind our backs. And as we breathe in, we're going to open up our chest, roll our shoulders back as we try to bring our arms closer together. As we inhale again and exhale, we're going to bring the torso forward and down, keeping the arms on the lower back, taking our time with this posture, finding that edge for in which you can no longer bend any further. And on the next inhale, inhaling the arms up off the lower back, allowing the crown of the head and the neck to relax, keeping your eyes open, using your Ujjayi breath to stay present as you actively press into your feet and rise the breath and energy up through the back of the legs, through the back, up through and out the arms. To release this pose, exhale the arms down onto the lower back. Release the palms down towards the ground. If you need to bend your knees, as we start to bring the torso forward and down, bending the knees, coming into a squatting position. You can use this time to bring your head down, roll out your back if you need to, open up your hips, just one of my favorite things. I promise we won't do crow tonight. We'll save that for Friday happy hour yoga. But when you're ready, come down to sitting your sits bones on your knees, on your shins, and coming to relax into a seated meditative posture, keeping your hands in your lap, closing your eyes, and continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Noticing all the sensations that go along with having the head above the heart once more. What it feels like to be supported by the ground underneath of you. Letting all of these subtle sensations and feelings support you in being present in the moment and unplugging from all of the chatter of this week, day, and situation. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. We're going to do some of our laying down postures. So if you could come to laying on the stomach. Our first posture is going to be cobra pose. So we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Hi, puppy. All right. Lay down. Thank you. You want to do cobra pose with us? This is Lotus, everybody. This is my rescued Yorkie who wants to play. So with our foreheads on the mat and our hands underneath our shoulders, our feet are together, tops of the feet pressing into the mat, tightening through the buttocks and thighs. We're going to inhale, pressing into the palms, lifting the torso up, keeping the hips on the ground. Shoulders are away from the ears and slightly down. Elbows are bent in near the body, and breathe. Using that Ujjayi breath to keep yourself present. To release this pose, exhale, bring the torso down, turn the head to one side, bring the arms out alongside you, palms facing up, closing your eyes, and allowing yourself to melt into the ground. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes as we prepare for both poses. We're going to bring our forehead back onto the mat. We're going to turn our palms over so that they're on the ground, bringing their arms about 45 degrees out to the side of the body, bringing the feet together and letting them splay, coming apart, pressing them into the ground. We're going to inhale, and as you do so, lift the legs, lift the arms, lift the torso, lift the head, and breathe. Extending your intention out through all of your limbs and forward through the crown of the head. To release this, exhale the body down, turn the palms up, turn the head to the opposite side. Close your eyes and come into your meditation. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to push back into child's pose. Coming down onto our heels. If you need a blanket or a pillow for either your knees or underneath your sits bones and your heels, whatever is best for you. We're going to bring the forehead onto the mat. Arms are either alongside the body, palms facing up, or if you want to, they can be out in front of you. Actively releasing your abdomen, releasing your hips, breathing, being present. When you're ready, slowly inhale the torso up, coming back into our seated meditative position, hands in the lap. Notice the flood of sensations and feelings running through the body as the torso comes back up over the heart again. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes as we prepare for our last posture. It's going to be another seated posture. We're going to swing our hips to one side. We're going to swing our hips out, our legs out in front of us. We're going to engage through the inner thigh. Press forward through the balls of the feet as we reach the toes back towards the body. You can go ahead and remove the flesh from underneath your sits bones or walk one heel back and then the other, whatever is best for you. But when you're ready, go ahead and we're going to inhale the palms up, facing one another, shoulder height. You're going to inhale the arms up overhead so that the arms are alongside the ear. You're going to slowly inhale the navel towards the lower back. And as you exhale, slowly start to bring the torso forward and down, keeping the arms in line with the spine. And you can only bend any further. Go ahead and release the hands down to the legs wherever they may fall, not pulling yourself deeper, but just nice and relaxed. Breathing, engaging those legs and feet. And as you exhale again, slowly let the head and neck fall forward. And notice how you feel a delightful stretch all the way down your spine. To release this pose, inhale the arms up alongside the ears. Inhale the torso up, reaching up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, slowly bring the arms down, closing your eyes. And first thing I love noticing is how easy it is to sit in this position. Just allow yourself to be present here. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes as we're going to get ready for the Yoga Nidra section of our practice tonight. So getting ready to do a laying down, whatever you need. If you want a pillow, a bolster for under your knees, whether you want a blanket to keep you warm, go ahead and take these moments to get whatever other postures or asanas you might want for this evening's practice as you get ready to make everything dark, turn your lights, take the moment to get comfortable, to get warm. Allowing yourself to find all of that space that you need to just be yourself. I'm switching up the music a little bit. Allowing yourself to become more and more comfortable for whatever it is that is best for you. Your body sink deeper into your blankets or your mats or your pillows, allowing yourself to become very comfortable. As you continue to find all of your space and all of your comfort, to begin to close your eyes and come back to your breath. Allow yourself to become more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed. And do not worry if you do not hear everything that is said during this meditation. It is natural to flow in and out of conscious hearing. Know that there is always a part of you that will be hearing what is said. And relax into knowing that you are present here on the mat in this place and that it is the perfect place for you to be in. For this is a place of silence for us all to enjoy together. And this time is for you to relax and release. Take the time to come into a final stillness now and remain still for a deep and nourishing relaxation. Take a moment to check back in with your breathing and allow yourself to breathe at whatever natural cadence is best for you or how it should ebb and flow or change during your practice tonight. Allow your bones to be heavier. Feel your heavy bones sinking deeper into the earth and release into the sensation of your bones sinking into your earth as your muscles release and relax and let go. As you continue to follow your breath and go deeper, allow yourself to go into the depths of your heart, at center of the space just beyond the breastbone. And know and see what it is there. What is it longing for? Beyond all the material needs, beyond all the security and sensations, what do you truly long for? And allow yourself to create a positive, present tense statement to help experience this longing as if it is who you currently are in this moment. As you continue to breathe, repeat your positive present tense statement to yourself one more time. And now bring your intention and awareness to the top of your head, allowing it to release into your mat or into your pillow. Coming down to the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheek, your mouth. Allowing all expression to fade from your face. Letting the back of your head and the center of your head release onto your mat or pillow. Coming down into the neck, allowing it to soften, allowing your head to open and your throat to open. Coming down onto the shoulders, letting them drop deeper into your mat. Your arms, your elbows to soften. Your forearms to melt deeper and deeper into the earth. Softening of the palm of your hands all the way out to the tips of your fingers. Letting go. Coming up into the chest. Feeling your breath rise and fall. Letting your abdomen and stomach relax, release, unfurl. Letting the top of your back sink deeper into the mat, center of your back. Softening the lower back. Coming down into the hips, allowing your hips to release and open. Allowing them to become heavy as they melt deeper into the mat and the floor and the earth. Coming down into your legs, allowing your legs to release, your knees to soften. All the way out to your heels, through your shins and calves, all the way out to the tips of your toes. Allowing yourself to breathe. And as you breathe, come back to your heart. Come back to feeling it beat, that slow and steady rhythm. And start to feel it as it beats in your chest. And as you breathe in, feel that beat and the energy around it start to flow smoothly from the center of your heart out to your arms, down to your fingertips, through the abdomen, down through the legs, all the way out through the toes, through the neck, all the way out through the top of the head. Let it fill all of you with this warm, secure knowing that you have a great love for yourself and that it is unconditional and always ever present. And as you continue to breathe and feel this rhythm of your heart, this flow of energy throughout your body, come back to your positive present tense statement. And let all of the feelings that it embodies roll through your body as if you are experiencing this statement as it is your reality right now. And let it flow through you. Let it flow around you. And let it flow back through you again. And as you can breathe, and you continue to feel all this energy and the feelings and emotions that go along with your positive present tense statement, imagine that you are at home and in your bed, that safe, loving space that we all enjoy. And all of a sudden you're waking up in your bed, warm and happy. And you notice that as you breathe, you feel this thoughts and feelings, this present tense statement of who you truly are in your heart, beating all around you. And as you begin to get up and get ready for your day, start to wash and prep and clean, as you begin to dress, drink your coffee, eat your breakfast. Notice that all the interactions in your home and in your space, how they help reinforce this positive present tense version of who you are, and how there is an unlimited amount of unconditional love available for this person. And as you continue to go through your morning routine, and you get ready to leave for the day, as you begin to walk to the threshold of the front door of your home, as you pull the door or push the door open and allow yourself to walk through out into the sun, you notice that there is a beautiful path from the front doorway out into the world, out into the forest, or a place of nature that you enjoy the most, and begin to start walking that path. And as you continue to walk that path, notice that it is a beautiful day, warm, with a cool breeze over your skin. And as you continue walking that path, notice that every time your feet hit the ground, how you can feel the sensations of your positive present tense statement flooding through your body. As you begin to walk, you notice that friends from your life start to pop up along the way. how they are greeting you and welcoming you, and how they're looking at you as if this positive present tense statement, this version of who you've always wanted to be, is who they are seeing and interacting with. Notice that as you continue to walk and talk and interact with these people, even if they are people who are challenging to you, how all of these things seem to melt away smoothly and easily. Notice how much this helps you engage into this positive present tense version of yourself, this person who is unconditionally loved and supported in all that you do. And as you continue to walk through this forest, through this path on this beautiful day, notice that there's a clearing that comes up ahead. And as you begin to walk towards the clearing, in the center of it, you notice that there is a comfortable blanket laying there on the ground, inviting you to come and lay down upon it. And as you go and you lay down, being held, comforted by the earth underneath of you, the wind gently blowing over you, and the sun warming you from above, as you close your eyes and you allow this warmth to wash all of the feelings and all of the unconditional love from your present tense, heart-centered statement to wash over you, to hold you, to embrace you, to show you the path that this person and this part of you has always been. And take a few moments to continue to breathe and experience these feelings and emotions, for they are a part of who you truly are. And slowly start to come back to the sensations of your breath. Come back to feeling the rhythm of the beat of your heart deep within your chest. Start to come present in your body. Feeling this energy and love slowly flowing through your being and around you. For this is who you are, truly. And as you begin to breathe deeply, coming back to your body, coming back to the mat, coming back to this place, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring movement back to the body. Start to take a nice big long stretch, arms overhead if it's available to you. allowing yourself to become more and more present. And when you're ready, you can slowly roll over onto the right side. Eyes continue to be closed, continuing to be present. And when you're ready, you can slowly push up into a comfortable seated position. Coming back into our meditative stance, seated on the floor. I want to thank you all for coming to class today. It is such a pleasure to be able to share my learning and my gifts with each and every one of you who have chosen to tune in. To notice that even as I've gone through class tonight, should you watch this movie again and all the challenges that were present for it, that practicing having a resilient mind means that I was able to effortlessly flow through these challenges. And that as we embrace our heart-centered, positive present tense statements about who we truly are and practice that every day, that we start to create a world where stress and anxiety, where fear and paranoia are no longer present. And as you continue to just take one breath at a time, bring your hands into a prayer position before our hearts. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day and a gorgeous rest of your week. Jai Bhagwan, my friends. I honor the light within you. I look forward to seeing you hopefully at happy hour on Friday at 5:30. Same social media space, same Zoom channel. That if you think any of your family or friends or coworkers, colleagues might enjoy or benefit from any of my classes, I hope that you please comment and or share this link as in my Facebook at Luminous Life Adventures or with Erin Delia's YouTube channel, and that you stay tuned for a whole new week of fantastic fun as I launch this resilient mind method to the world. Have a beautiful evening, everybody, and thank you for coming.